It's a good baby. You're such a faithful little yogi. Yodi? Yodi's a great little yogi. Yogini. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today to day 33, I do believe, April 20th. Happy day to you. As I begin to speak, allow your body to come into a comfortably seated position. Keep your strap, keep your pillows, keep your bolster, keep your block. Allow your breath to come into a natural breath. Our most dedicated little yogini here is joining us today. And today we are going to be looking at the Bindu. The Bindu is the area just in the back of the head. It is officially called the Bindu Visarga, and it is the the point of great consideration, they say. It holds all dichotomy, both void and eternity. This space cannot be physically located, but can be identified when we have the right vibration. So as you continue to breathe into your natural breath, again, this will be a 60-minute adult practice today. If this is your first practice, or if you have not done the subsequent 32 days, or at least the last week, please go very slowly in this practice. Pay attention to what's happening in your body. If at any time you feel dizzy or lightheaded, stop. If at any time you feel nauseous, stop. If you have any past surgeries, injuries, or otherwise, also stop or consult with a doctor prior to your practice. As I mentioned, all of these practices come from this wonderful book, Kundalini Tantra by Swami Satyananda Saraswati. One of the best. We will do some movement today. We will start with some breathing. So if during the breathing you need to adjust your position, feel comfortable to adjust your position. If you need to lift your hips and lower your knees, you are welcome. Find a way where you are comfortable to sit for about 10 minutes. We'll begin by coming into that natural breath. Feel the balloon in your belly. The diaphragm expands, moving up into the barrel in your ribs, and the third part of the higher regions of the thoracic, clavicular, and into all of the cavities in the space. Fill every point. Don't force it. Naturally allow the wave to furl up. Feeling the belly expand, ribs extend. Upper body is light, shoulders always staying down, lengthening the spine with every inhale. And relax. Introducing your Ujjayi breathing technique. You are contracting the throat, making a slight sound, almost as though you're fogging a glass. Keeping your mouth closed and deepening your breath. Every exhale should be twice as long as your inhalation. Your hands can be resting in a different mudra or hold. Palms up for seeking knowledge, palms down for professing knowledge. And when you are ready, continuing with the 3 parts, continuing with the Ujjayi, your exhalation to be twice as long as your inhale, dropping the hands from the knees on your next exhale and inhaling up, shoulders down, palms open, eyes of the elbows, awakening, inhaling, interlace the fingers together, lifting, feel the shoulder blades pressing down, making a rectangular space inside the arms, and feel the arms pushing outward as well. So you're lifting up, lifting the whole armpit, but feel that outward movement, lengthening the neck. And as we exhale, let's release nice and slowly. Just from one movement, do you feel the blood shifting? Do you feel the temperature changing? Touching the tips of the fingers down, shifting the arms up again, a little bit more slowly this time. Inhaling up, shoulders down, belly expanding, touching the tops of the fingers, then exhale. Palms now facing downward, coming all the way down. We'll do that 3 times, but starting to unite the breath with the body. Inhaling up, palms facing in the direction where we are going. And exhaling down. These basic movements in the beginning start to unite the breath and the body, unite the higher and lower energies. On your next inhale, coming up to a T-shaped position, hold that just for a moment. Feel the force of gravity. Feel the power within the gravity, also within your body. Feel the 2 natural systems working together. Start to feel how they both can provide benefit to one another. On your next inhale, bending the left hand, left fingers into the right temple, right palm facing downward, coming all the way to the ground, touching the tips of the fingers or planting, flattening the palm, nodding chin into the chest. Nice and deep, slow movements. Every inhale we lift, every exhale we contract. Don't lose your posture. And once you come back to center, let's bring the head to the side. So turning to face the armpit, and we can have the arm either out to the side or coming all the way down, looking towards the armpit. You can have the hand as well, giving a slight more depth, touching at any point of the side of the face if you would like. Feel the muscles stretching all around the cranium, all around the jaw. And on your next exhale, let's make quarter circles. So bring the chin down to the chest, leading with the chin, and inhale up, nice and slow. Don't lose your posture. With every inhale, your spine lengthens, your vertebral column, finding space between each bone. And when your head comes back down to center, let's inhale everything back up. So lift the head, lift the arms back to that T-shaped position. And again, feel the effects of the practice on the body so quickly, so powerfully. Continue to breathe deeply. And what we do to one side, we always do to the other side, promoting symmetry in the body. So bringing the opposite fingers in, dropping the opposite arm down, finding the sweet spot in the temple on the side of the left forehead or temple, side of the head. And again, nodding, leading from the chin, producing that positive yes vibration in the body. And just a reminder, if you do need to adjust your seated position, feel comfortable. But these postural sitting positions do work our postural muscles. So we are activating, they are doing what they're supposed to do. We are getting a workout here. We are burning calories. And you are breathing deeply on your next exhale. Chin comes down. And let's release the hand and looking towards the armpit. So looking down, bringing the hand down. And you're ready. making quarter circles leading from the chin down and back up to the shoulder. Now we're putting a lot of focus on the shoulders here. Make sure the shoulders are not hunched or scrunched. Make sure they are down, dropping, melting down the spine. And again, if the hands are not able to be flattened, you can use your blocks. You can have your something lifting to give a little bit of ease on the spine and the shoulders. And on your next exhale, coming down. And again, everything lift. Head comes up, arms come up all the way. And bending the elbows, interlace your fingers behind your neck, nice and tight. Bring the elbows in and exhale. Only the top 7 vertebrae, only the cervical spine. So chin into the chest. Keep the shoulders relaxing. Keep the spine lengthening. And breathe here for 5 deep breaths. Again, feel your posture lengthening. Feel your shoulders melting. And on your next inhale, let's open, lifting, bringing the hands out to a cactus position. So again, feeling the gravity, 90 degrees in the elbows. Breathing very deeply and a little side stretch. So exhaling first to the left, stretching over all the way and looking down through the armpit. Exhale, twist, plant both hands, and looking behind you. Arms up, nice wide, sunshine. And what we do to one side of the body, we always do to the opposite side to promote symmetry and also to rebalance the experiences of our lives. Very often we develop habits, not very often. We are a habit. We are one gigantic habit. You learn to pick up your fork with one hand. You learn to pick up your bag with another hand. Exhale, bring your arm down. Our body, the muscles of our body hold the experiences of our lives. And those experiences are not always entirely positive, as we know, so yoga helps to bring the body back, bring the mind back. And on your next inhale, coming up, and again, bring both hands out to the side, holding just for a moment, arms up, palms facing upward. And as we exhale, let's bring them up and forward, palms facing down and rolling over onto our hands and knees. So sitting in a Vajrasana position. So our knees are together, heels are together, feet are together. We're going to come into some movement before we continue with our breathing. But there are also some very important breathing techniques specifically related to the Bindu. So we will come back into those. But let's move around a little bit. So coming into the Shashankasana series. So it is moving with similar to a cat-cow movement, but we're starting in Vajrasana. I will guide you through it. Focusing on the entire spine now, as we have spent the last 7 days working on each chakra in a Kundalini Tantra practice. Our focus today on the Bindu. And I do remind you, since these are recorded, each one of these 7 practices should be done for 1 month. When you're ready, let's inhale, arms up, shoulders down, slight back bend, feel the belly stretching, lifting, opening, and exhale, coming up off the bum and drop the hands down. Let's bring the forehead down to the ground. So we're in a modified child position and breathing here. On your next inhale, pushing into the hands, round back,
And keeping the chin into the chest until the very last moment, coming down into a cobra, breathing deeply. Don't let your shoulders scrunch. Strong arms. Anytime we're balancing, and this is a balance, our first knuckle, that pointer finger, takes the weight. So watch your fingers, make sure the palms are flat, fingers are spread. First knuckle takes the weight. Relax your feet, relax your bum. Tips of the toes should be touching. Heels should be flailing outside. Feel the pressure on the lower spine. Feel the pressure of the Svadhisthana chakra. Gentle with your neck. You can look up slightly. And as you look up, look into the center eyebrow. Okay? Shambhavi Mudra. So looking up, breathing deeply. Don't forget you have 3 parts of your breath. Don't forget you have Ujjayi, breathing technique. And now we are introducing the eyes, looking at the center of the crown. Stay here for one more deep breath. And when you're ready, tuck the chin down, push the hands in, and roll back. The last thing that comes up is your bum, your bottom, and back to this first position. Modified child, stretching out the shoulders. And when you're ready, let's inhale this time up onto the knees, arms staying up, dropping the shoulders down. And if you have if you have pain in your knees, you can put a blanket, pillows, a bolster, something that's going to help you stay relaxed. Inhaling, lengthening, shoulders are down. Again, we don't want to scrunch our shoulders. Shoulders are always down. Imagine someone is just there, just slightly touching on the muscles that may be tensing. Relax your legs, relax your feet, relax your bum. And we're going to come into a half camel. I will change my position just for demonstration. So if you're familiar, come into the position now. Otherwise, let's keep lifting with the right hand up. And left hand is going to come down almost as though we're stretching a bow and arrow. So really allow that bow to stretch. And when you're ready, let's bring the hand down to the lower back. Make sure that we stay nice and flattened in the chest. If our bow and arrow got us out of whack a bit, stay nice and centered. And this is a beautiful camel. Reaching up. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can start walking your hand down the back of your leg, possibly to your calf, possibly to your heel. If you're able to come down, if you're comfortable, let the thumb be on the outside of the heel, looking up, flattening the belly and the abdomen, and you can let the hand reach back. Breathing deeply here and inhaling, lifting, and opposite hand, nice sunshine up. And exhale, let's come down. So again, back to that bit of a deeper child's position. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Just take a moment here to release any tension, relax the muscles. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, lifting, coming up. Slight back bend, keep the shoulders down. And this time, opposite arm. So coming into that bow and arrow type of movement, really stretching and over exaggerate. Anyone can just sort of do this, but move. Imagine there's someone pulling you, pushing you, just touching you slightly. And there is, by the way. Breathing deeply. When you're ready, bring the opposite hand to the lower back. You can continue reaching up, flattening the torso, the abdomen, the belly. And if you're comfortable, walk the fingers down and lengthening. And just let the head completely relax. And breathe. When you're ready, inhaling up, sunshine those arms back down, opening the knees nice and wide, coming into Bhadrasana before we come into a child's position. So the legs are nice and wide, knees, in fact, as far as you can get them. Tips of the toes are touching. Now here we're going to come into another breathing technique specifically associated with the Bindu chakra. This is called Murcha Pranayama. Murcha means swooning or fainting breath. If you feel dizzy, if you feel in any sort of pain during this practice, please do stop. So again, sitting in Bhadrasana or any position that's comfortable for you, let's bring in the Shambhavi Mudra. So the eyes begin to look to the Ajna chakra. And in fact, the Ajna and the Bindu hold the same location in the circumference of the head, if we're talking longitude and latitude of the head. Okay, so continue to look there. Remember, you have 3 deep parts of your breath. You are using the Ujjayi breathing technique, contracting the throat. Hands are on the knees, arms are long, lengthening. Elbows will be locked. You can find a little bit of space now. Just really try to walk those shoulders down, finding as much space as you can. We're also going to introduce Kichari Mudra, so the tongue lock. So you can see now how many different things are happening at the same time. This is the beginning of our Pratyahara Dhyana Dhyana, into our higher levels of yoga and meditation. Still getting the physical benefits of a yin practice, but now focusing more so on the breath. So we have Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi, Pranayama, Kichari Mudra. So the tip of the tongue will fold back, touching the back of the top of the teeth. Move back an inch or 2 until you find the soft palate just slightly up and press into there. Okay, so a lot of different things happening. Now, as we inhale, we're going to push into the hands, lock the arms, and again, we can start a little bit down so the head can be lowering slightly, chin tucked into the chest. We can round the back, just as we've done in other practices. Make sure you don't lift the shoulders, just rounding the back. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale, push into the hands, and start to look up. As we look up, at the top of our breath, we will hold the breath. So Kumbhaka, at the top of the breath. When you feel release, purse the lips and release through them. Exhale slowly, and when you come down, returning to the original position, the eyes will close. Okay, I'll do that together with you. So hands lock. Ujjayi Pranayama. Kichari Mudra. Shambhavi Mudra. 1, 2, 3 parts of your breath. When you're ready, inhale. At the top of your breath, eyes are open. You are looking at Bhamani Mudra, and hold the breath, Kumbhaka. Your head is not back so much, just slightly. Remember, the Bindu is in the back of your head. Imagine that there's a bit of a bowl there, and as though there's a liquid there, and you could just flatten that bowl. So imagine that your head right now is on a bit of a level, and the Bindu is your assessment feature, that little ball. When you're ready, let's slowly exhale, pursing the lips. Slowly coming forward, and by the time you come down, relax Kichari Mudra, close your eyes, and come to a regular breath. That's 1 round. We're going to do 3. It's recommended to do 10, but as we are in a short recorded practice, you may pause now and continue with 10. When you're ready, the second and third rounds I will demonstrate without speaking. After your second round, sit for one breath until you are ready for the final. And once you've taken your final round, coming back to a regular position, we're going to come into a back bend as a counter position. Now, I would like us to try Supta Vajrasana. So it means that we are leaning back in this position. You may use a block, you may use a bolster, a pillow, anything you would like underneath the hips. In this case, we are going to get a little bit of a pocket in the lower back. That's what we want to try to contend with, also to press that in. Now we are going to hold this position for 3 minutes. We are going to follow this by a child's position for 5 minutes. So in the next approximately 10 minutes, we will be doing only 2 positions. So mentally preparing yourself for this, getting your body, your props ready. Again, I'm using my phone as a timer, not as any other reason. Okay, from this moment, we will take 3 minutes. So adjusting yourself in. If you're not comfortable coming down in a Supta Vajrasana, then please use Konasana. Konasana is butterfly position and simply leaning back. You're welcome to put a block. If you are in Supta Vajrasana, you may not need a block because you will have, as I said, that bit of an indentation, and that's what we're looking at remedying. So the femurs should be straight, arms are out to the side, and whichever position you're in, feel the pressure at the base of the head, right under or around the occipital lobe, and in that space is the energy of the Bindu. Bindu is represented by a single point. And while that may not seem significant, we need to remember that Western theories of everything around us originates with that one single point. That's 90 seconds, my friends. Checking in with your body, finding any adjustments that you may need to take. If at any time you are in pain or discomfort, come out of the position. If at any time you need to come deeper or ease out, feel free and welcome. The definition of the physical asana is slow, steady, comfortable positions. The definition of the mental part of yoga is the cessations of the fluctuation of the mind. While we are in a yin practice, we do want to focus on the 3 different principles of yin. They are time, because the longer we hold, the more we are able to get into the deep fascia or the connective tissue of the body. A regular yoga practice is not going to do that at all. A regular yoga practice is exercise, basically. Yin and other aspects of Raj yoga are truly the only pure forms of modern yoga. So we have time, we have stillness. So again, if you need to move, if you need to adjust, do so that you can find stillness. But then the secret is really stopping. You have to stop. There's so much going on around you at any one given time. We need to stop. And the third aspect, as we begin to come out of this position, when you are ready, nice and slowly, Keeping your chin tucked into your chest, using the elbows to come up. And the third aspect is finding our edge. And we'll continue to talk about that as we just lean forward and coming into a direct counter pose of Balasana, child's position. Now here, I have not adjusted my legs. So if you are able to come from wherever you were to wherever you're going, beautiful. Otherwise, adjust your legs so that you're comfortable. The knees can be together. You can be sitting on the heels. You can have a bolster or a block under you. From this moment, we will have 3 minutes. Allow the arms to come down. Now, if you're feeling a bit tight in the shoulders, because the shoulders should always be down, away from the ears, move the arms a little bit out to the side, or even allow them to come right down by our side. Technically, this is Balasana. Once we move into the other positions, we're getting more into another variety. So wherever you find yourself able to sit still and comfortably on your edge for 3 minutes. Your edge is about 70% of your full capacity in any one given pose. You don't want to force your body in because you may cause injury, you may cause mental resistance, you may cause frustration. Just be in your body. Just observe what your body does and locate yourself in your body. Where are you? Do you hang around in your stomach? Do you feel that you are this heady, talky person that's always in your thought process? Or are you in the back of your body? Are you stuck in your shoulders in a knot or a scrunch? Are you possibly in other physical places that might be counterproductive to going to more specific destinations? That's 90 seconds here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue to hold. And if you are able to bring your head down, please do so. If you're not, you can use your fists stacked up. You can use a block. You can bring anything in that you think is going to deepen your practice into Bindu. So Bindu, as we have said, is not a real physical point. Rather, it is a source of eternal energy. It is the place where all of creation comes from. It is the storehouse of all the energy in the universe, as well as, according to yoga traditions, it is the storehouse of all of the karma and the samskaras of our previous lives. Now, yoga is not religious. Yoga does not promote any sort of spirituality. It is a breathing practice designed to allow the body to sit still for extended periods of time. Now, originally, that may not have been for spiritual purposes. As people today do prayer and meditation, we associate those practices with higher states of existence, and we've come to associate higher states of existence with a creation or a God. But initially, if you think about it, that initial ability for humans to just stay in one place was probably much less meditative than it was hiding from a tiger, or hibernating from the cold, or trying to survive when there was no food around, and reducing the amount of energy that you are expending. And the fact that you survived that, or our very distant ancestors survived that, would be great cause for celebration, and over the years has turned into, of course, stories of creation, essentially, and heroes and legends and all those other types of things. When you are ready, ladies and gentlemen, very slowly, keeping the chin tucked into the chest, allowing the hands to walk our bodies back, we're going to come over onto one side. So before we do that, let's just come up maybe into a tabletop position and shake out those legs. So extending the left leg, maybe lifting, maybe shaking. We'll do a few cat-cows in a minute, but our legs, my legs anyways, have been in the exact same position for almost 10 minutes. So yeah, that blood needs to move. Now, I have particular conditions in my legs. I have circulatory issues, and for me, that position is very wonderful and highly beneficial. For you, again, we will all have our preferred positions. Now, let's come into a tabletop position, lining up the joints, so the wrists, the shoulders in a nice line, making sure the hips and the knees as well. Tops of the feet flat on the ground. And when you're ready, inhaling, lift the head, lift the tailbone, and again, move from the back point. Exhaling down. Feel the energy moving back to the tips of your toes. And inhaling up, the energy, the blood, the prana. Now we're not going to come into we're not going to come into cat-cow movements. We're going to come right up into a downward dog today and into a few standing positions. So after we've locked the legs like that, giving them more oxygenated blood, let's use that and train the vessels where to go and how to fill that oxygenated blood. So when you're ready, coming into a downward dog, palms should be open. First knuckle takes the weight. Fingers are spread. Eyes of the elbows can be facing either forward or facing each other. Roll them back and forth for a minute and feel where you feel more stable. Some people have issues with their elbows. Now for me, I prefer, and probably most people prefer, the elbows to be facing forward. That will help to line up the shoulders, which are down away from the ears. Lengthen the spine from this position, feeling it getting a bit longer, breathing deeply. And when you're ready, let's curl the toes under. And keeping the knees bent, we'll push into the hands. Try to get the thighs on the belly. So don't come up into